from the air conditioner. Okay, listen. I had to, because it's distracting me. I forgot to turn it off. Anyway, listen. If you're new to the channel, listen. All my recent videos are under the live stream section of this channel. Okay, you gotta watch all the live stream videos first. Okay, especially the last month of live streams. Go watch that. That way you can catch up to what this video is about. Because if you watch this first and you're new, you're really not going to grasp the magnitude unless you watch the rest of them. Now, um, like I said, for the new people, pay attention. I have two predictions I've been predicting for many, many years now. Same predictions that on June 11th, there's going to be a spectacular event. And I don't mean in a good way. It's the biblical beast out of the sea event on June 11th in the state of Washington. Okay, Washington State is going to be struck somehow, and you got to get out before June 11th. Okay, now that is the biblical beast out of the sea event, and somehow it connects to Elvis. Yes, Elvis, the entertainer, who's supposedly dead, right? Because Elvis lives now. Anyway, listen, Elvis is the real Antichrist. Okay, and who is the Antichrist in the flesh? It's Trump. And what is that about? It's because when God was walking the earth as Jesus, Jesus is God in the flesh, God was still in heaven. Okay, and that's why Trump is the image of Elvis, who was playing God in heaven while Trump is playing God in the flesh. And what happened to God in the flesh? He was crucified. And that's what's going to happen to Trump. Trump gets his head wound on August 4th. That's my other prediction, that Trump gets his head wound on August 4th, most likely in Ohio, but for sure August 4th, which is Obama's birthday, by the way. But Trump is the one who gets the head wound on August 4th. Okay? And how does that connect to the June 11th event in Washington State? Because I told you they all have to connect. If you've been watching my videos, you know that everything has to connect to the 611, the 666, to Satan, to August 4th. All of it's connected. And if you've been watching, you know what I'm talking about with Pearl Harbor and 9/11 and all that stuff. And how does it connect to the June 11th biblical beast out of the sea event? Because the biblical beast out of the sea, one of its heads seemed to have had a head wound that healed, and a deadly head wound that healed, and the world wondered after the beast, and that is the August 4th event. Okay, so that's why everything has to connect to each other. All right, if you don't understand it, just watch my videos. Okay, eventually you'll understand. Anyway, so let's get started here. All right, give me 1 second. Make sure you thumb up the video, and make sure you comment in the chat, folks, about what you're seeing in the video. Okay, helps the algorithms. You're not doing it for me. All right, so you know my two predictions, like I just said. Okay, June 11th, August 4th. Now, you know that Trump. Oh, I got to play this video first. Sorry, folks. Just give me 1 second. I got to play this for you. So this is Trump. After he got his ear clipped, he went back to Butler, Pennsylvania. Okay, and look what he says. This is just to confirm.
This time it is 6:11, 12 weeks to the minute that the shooting began. I would like, this time it is 6:11, 12 weeks to the minute that the shooting began. I would like to ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence.
Okay, I just wanted you to see that first. Let's keep going here. So that was Trump after he got his ear clipped. Okay, notice that he mentioned the 611, but you'll see it how it comes up in a moment. So that was when he came back to Butler, Pennsylvania, where he got his ear clipped. Supposedly got his ear clipped. You know what we think here, but he supposedly got his ear clipped on July 13th. Okay, and on the very first day, I told you what that looked like. The words the word lie looks like 713, right? Those numbers, okay? And that was the day that it happened, right? And that's the first weird thing. Okay, and you know my two prediction dates are June 11th, the 162nd day of the year, and August 4th, the 216th day of the year. 16 2, 216. 16 2, 216. Do you see it? Why am I showing you that? Because Butler, Pennsylvania's initials, where he got his ear clipped. Ignore that weird noise in the background. I live right off the street in this apartment. Anyway, so Butler, Pennsylvania's initials is BP. And if you say it backwards, it's PB. 216 or 16-2, which is my two predictions. August 4th is the 216th day of the year. June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. Okay, 16-2, 216. All right, which is what I was showing you, with my two predictions, right? All right, now that's Butler, Pennsylvania. And why am I showing you this? Because let's let's find out real quick here. Watch. Look at Butler, Pennsylvania's the two area codes, 724 and 878. Add that up. Look what you get. 16 and 2. 216. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how crazy that is? Again, with the 162 or 216, right? And of course, the shooting that day when he got the supposed ear clip, it was, the date was 713, but the time on the clock was 611. Okay? That's what makes it so ridiculous, okay? And that's why when you hear him, doing this,
it is 611, 12 weeks to the minute that the shooting began. I would like to ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence.
Okay, and then he does a moment of silence for the 611, warning you, okay? He's warning, don't you understand? Okay? And I'll get to what in a moment, the rest of the connections. Okay? So, interestingly enough, Trump is born on 614. If you wrote the words July 13th, 2024, because that's when it happened, it's weird that if you add it all up, in gematria, it adds up to 614, which is Trump's birthday. And 6 times 14, Trump's birthday equals 84. So like I say, he's going to get his head wound on 8-4. You know what I mean? It's right there, folks, in the numbers, And let's keep going. So did you know that he went back to Butler, Pennsylvania? That's when he did his, when he did this.
It is 611, 12 weeks to the minute that the shooting began. I would like to ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence.
All right. So anyway, the point of that is that he went back there to Butler, Pennsylvania on 10/5/24. And why is this significant? Okay? Because remember, it happened at 611 on 713. Then he went back there on 10/5, which was 84 days later. If you add the day, it's 85, but up to that day, it's 84 days. So the time on the clock was 611 when it happened on 713. Then from 713 to 10/5, up to that day, it's 84 days. So there it is again, connecting to my two prediction dates, 611 and 8-4. Okay? And if you think it's a coincidence, because I told you they all have to connect to each other, everything. All right? Everything has to connect. You think it's a coincidence that from the day he went back to Butler, Pennsylvania, where he had the moment of silence 84 days after the ear shot, the day he went back to Butler, Pennsylvania, from that day to the day I'm telling you that Washington State is going to be struck on 6/11 is 614 days. Up to that day, not including the day, but up to that day, it's 615 if you add the day, but 614 up to that day. And that's his birthday. 6 times 14 is 84. So it connects to the 8-4. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Okay? It all connects to each other. All right. So do you understand what I'm showing? So from Trump's earshot, which happened at 6:11 the time, to the day he went back to Butler, Pennsylvania, was 84 or 85 days. And then from there to June 11th, it's 614 or 615 days. It's right there, 8-4, 614. That's Trump's birthday. And 6 times 14 is 84 when he gets his head wound. And we're talking about 6:11. Okay. And that time on the clock was 6:11 when he got his ear clipped. And here's another connection. This is just, strange connections. The prime numbers for Seattle's area codes, because they just named the new area code in Seattle not too long ago. The original area code is 206, and next year is the year 26. 206 area code plus the 564 area code added up, it's 770. This is the prime numbers. 206 is 1277, 564 is 4093. You add it up, you get that, and all of you add it up, you get 614 with a crown. The O, for the people who don't know, the three and the O or the W or an E is a crown, okay? Okay, that's why George W. Bush, George Washington State, W. You understand the O is a crown, it's a portal, it's a ring, it's a head, a face, whatever you want to call it, all right? But anyway, so it's 614 with a crown, okay? So that's Trump's birthday again. All right. Now, let me just show this one more time. I'm going through this video fast.
It is 6:11, 12 weeks to the minute that the shooting began. I would like to ask everyone to.
Did you hear what he said?
In a moment of silence.
No, this is what I want you to listen to what he says.
It is 6:11, 12 weeks to the minute.
That's what I want you to hear, the 12 weeks.
Began 12 weeks to the minute.
What does that mean?
Shooting began.
12 weeks. What is the 12-week connection? So what is 12 weeks? 12 weeks is 7 days in a week, right? So 7 times 12, right, is 84, right? And how does that connect? Everything has to connect. I told you that. Pearl Harbor happened on 12/7. 12 weeks, 7 days in a week. 12 times 7 is 84. And it was 84 days, right? When he went back to Butler, Pennsylvania. 12 being shot, the time on the clock was 6:11. Okay, do you understand? 6:11 on the time. And you think it's just a coincidence that from Pearl Harbor to next year, 6:11 is 84 years. Okay? That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Everything has to connect. 6:11, 84. 8-4, 6-11, my two predictions. So from Pearl Harbor to 6-11 next year is going to be 84 years. And that's what, the big info was in the last few videos. But you have to watch all the connections, okay? And again, we're talking about the 12/7 because Pearl Harbor, right? And interestingly enough, if you started from the first of the year, you go 1-1 and 6-11, you add those numbers up, it's 7-12. And if you say it backwards, it's 12/7. You understand? 12/7, 7-12. So the point is that 7-12 even connects to the 6-11. Okay? And Pearl Harbor was on 12/7. And 12/7 connects to the 6-11. And how you confirm that is from Elvis's birth to the exact day Pearl Harbor happened was 6 years, 11 months. Okay? Like I said, how can you have all these coincidences? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Okay? Because remember, it's 84 years from Pearl Harbor to 6/11 next year. And from Elvis's birth to Pearl Harbor, the exact day was 6 years, 11 months. So you have the 6/11 in August and the 8-4 connection for next year. Okay? Because it's 84 years from Pearl Harbor. Okay? Now, and next year is the 26th year, right? Because we're in the year 2026. 26 prime is 101. And it's got, look, if you add the 26 to the 101, you get 127. Because the 26 prime is 101, then add the 26, you get 127. There's your 12-7 for Pearl Harbor. And look, you even have the numbers 611. You understand? And whatever. There's other things you can do with that. And also, how old is Trump and Obama? Because Trump is going to turn, Trump is 79 and Obama is going to turn 64 on August 4th. Okay, because that's the day Trump gets his head wound. But I'm not sure if it's going to be this year or next year. But for sure, it's got to be next year if it doesn't happen this year. But it could still happen this year. But anyway, Obama turns 64 this year on August 4th. Trump is 79. So when June 11th happens next year, their ages will still be 79 and 64. The 79th prime is 401. The 64th prime is 311. Look at that, 712. There it is again. Pearl Harbor date, and 7 times 12 is 84. You see? And just to add, the craziness of it, Trump is 79 years old. The 79th prime is 401. And 401 plus 79 is 480. There's your 8-4 connection. You see what I'm saying? And of course, Trump is, he turned 79 and he's the 47th president. It just so happens that the element numbers on the periodic table is gold is 79 and silver is 47. And Elvis has the silver in it, Elvis. And the R is the 18th letter. Elvis was born on 1/8. And 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. And Elvis's full name equals 216, which is 6 times 6 times 6. And that's August 4th, the 216th day of the year. But anyway, the point is that it connects to gold and silver, okay? And Elvis has been dead for 47 years right now. And Trump is the 47th president, and he's 79. So a lot of connections there, okay? Now, that's it. So now, let me just tell you something. So if you want to show this to somebody, I would say stop here because, you know what I mean? If you show them the other last few videos that I've been showing, because what I'm going to show you next is a little more, complicated or not so, you know what I mean? So I don't know if you want to keep going, that's fine because I am going to show it. But I'm just saying this is where I would stop if you're new. But you want to come back and watch this video after you watch a bunch of my videos, then do that. But anyway, just give me a second here too. Yeah, make sure you guys thumb up the video, people, while I'm taking a break here for a second. I told you guys to thumb up this. See, that's what I'm saying. How do you guys not thumb up the video? I'm not going to get mad this time, but I'm just saying. It's amazing, All right. Anyway, let me just figure this out here. Oh, you know what I want to show you guys? I've shown this already in the other videos, but Obama's birth certificate. And that's what Trump ran his whole campaign on, that Obama was not a U.S. citizen, right? So he was, look, that's the first thing that comes up, is it says numerous conspiracy theories about birtherism question the legitimacy of Barack Obama's presidency. Yeah, that's the first thing that comes up when you say Obama's birth certificate. Anyway, and that Trump, he sent out some kind of tweet, says all roads lead to Obama. He even wrote that, because he's saying that the road ends at Obama for him, because on August 4th, that's what, he gets his head wound, but he survives the deadly head wound. All right. Anyway, let me just show you this birth certificate, and you'll see why I'm showing it. Just, weird anomalies here. So, this is Obama's birth certificate. Okay, first let me just show you that it's Obama. See? Barack Hussein Obama. Now look at the number at the top. Look at this. This is the number. This is the Uh, this is the certificate number. Okay. It, look at this, 611, and then it's got a crown, and then it's got 641, which is like Trump's birthday, 614. So you have 611, 614, 84. I mean, can you believe this, man? And look, 724. Isn't that the, where did I see this? That was Butler, Pennsylvania's area code, 724, one of them. You know that? And at the bottom over here, look, you even have an 88. You see that? Yeah, so you, like I said, because Trump's gonna open his eyes on 8-8. He gets his head wound on 8-4, but he opens his eyes 4 days later, most likely. Okay, so you have every connection on here. You know. Okay. Think about how crazy that is. All right, so everything connects to Trump. I mean to Obama. And if you don't believe that what I'm saying, think about what I'm about to show you here. Look at this. Um, so anyway, like I said, it had the 611 on that birth certificate, it had the 84, the 88, and even Trump's numbers, 641, 614 is his birthday. So it had everything on there, you know. And wait, was there other something else? Hold on. Here it goes. Oops. So Trump is going to get his head wound on 84, right? Which is Obama's birthday, right? Look at look at the area code for Hawaii, 808. Again, I'm asking, are these coincidences? Because I told you he's going to come back on 8-8. He's, you know, after he gets his head wound on 8-4, Trump. So the Hawaii's area code is 808. Okay, and you know that 808 is the Lionsgate portal day in that stupid astrology, whatever the heck. I don't pay attention to that, but it is Lionsgate portal day, and August is the Leo, the ELO. You know, the EL means God, and the O is the crown. You know, the Leo, the lion. But anyway, uh, Hawaii's area code is 808. Obama turns 64. 8 times 8 is 64. Are you understanding what I'm saying here? Okay. These are not coincidences, man. And you know Elvis's favorite vacation place is Hawaii. And check this out. When do they celebrate King Kamehameha Day in Hawaii?
In Hawaii, Kamehameha Day will be on Thursday, June 11th, 2026.
So every year they celebrate the first king of Hawaii, King Kamehameha, on June 11th. Again, and that's Elvis's favorite vacation place, Hawaii. Okay? Now, uh, just to add more connections, August month chart. So if you were to just start from any year and start from that point, August being the 8th month, the first time you see August, that would be the 8th month. Then the next time you see August would be 12 months later, would be the 20th. Then 12 months later would be 32. Then 12 months later would be 44. So the 8th month, fourth number down is 44. 8-4, the 44. Obama was born on 8-4, the 44th president. Again, I ask you, are these coincidences? And if you add 804 plus 44, you get 848. 8-4, and then 4 days later, Trump comes back on 8-8. You see? I'm just saying, are these just coincidences? You know? And the next thing I'm going to show you, let's see where it is here. Check this out. on the, on the Roman calendar, read this. In the ancient Roman calendar, the 6th month, which is named Sextilis or something, Sextilis, it was later renamed to Augustus, whatever. So basically the 6th month, I mean the 8th month. See, it says Sextilis became the 8th month, but retained his name. So the 8th month was actually the 6th month. The 6th month became August, which is the 8th month. You understand? So 8th month is the 6th month on the Roman calendar. Okay. Now, and by the way, this calendar it began in March. So March 1st to 9/11 was 6 months, 11 days, by the way, if it started from this time. But forget about that. So the 8th month is the 6th month. And why am I showing that? Why am I showing you the 8th month is the 6th month? Look. So on the Roman calendar, the 8th month was the 6th month. Okay. Why am I showing that? Because I just told you that Obama turned 64 on 8/4, and 8/4 would be 6/4 on the Roman calendar. Do you understand? Because the 8th month is the 6th month. So that's what they were waiting for it to connect to each other. The Roman calendar had to connect to the 6/4. Do you understand? Does that make sense what I'm saying, folks? Are you getting it? Can somebody tell me that you're getting that, or do I have to explain it better? The 8th month on the Roman calendar is the 6th month. Obama just turned 64. He's going to turn 64 on 8/4. That's it had to connect to that point. Okay? And how you know it's a big deal is because of this. How old was Trump the year Obama was born? The 15 he was. And the letter O is the 15th letter of the alphabet. The 0 is the O. So it's the crown number. So he was crowned when Obama was born. Okay. And then the next year he would be 16 years old. Obama would be 1 year old. Then the next year he'd be 17. Obama would be 2. Then Trump would be 18. Then Obama was 3. The 3 is the crown on the 18. When was Elvis born? 1/8. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. And look, you add up all the ages, it's 66 and 6. 666. That's it. And August 4th is the 216th day of the year. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. August 4th is the 216th day of the year, right? And notice you have all the sixes here. You have 6, 1, and then 4, which is Trump's birthday. 6, 1 to the 4, 614 at the 666 mark. You understand? And Obama's born on August 4th. August 4th is the 216th day of the year. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. Elvis Aaron Presley, his full name equals 216. Okay? Are you understanding, folks? And that I was born in Beirut, Lebanon. And, in Beirut, they had that big explosion, the biggest explosion we'd ever seen. Because I told you they have to connect. It's like a twin explosion. They're going to have, because Trump's ear clipping was at the time was 6/11, and I told you that he went back to Butler, Pennsylvania, 84 days later, because 8/4 has to connect to the 6/11. So they did an explosion on 8/4 because that's the day Trump is going to get his head wound. Do you understand how crazy this is? What I'm trying to explain to you here, what they're doing. I gotta put, hold on, folks. I can't hold it anymore. I hope you guys understood that. It's such a perfect puzzle. Okay? I just got to check one thing real quick. I don't know if I checked this. Make sure you thumb up the video, folks. Give me a second here. I'll answer questions at the end. So anybody asking me questions now, I'm not looking at it. Ask me later. Yeah, I appreciate that. Anyway, let's keep going here. Oh, and about how I told you they have, it's like a dual explosions, because the Beirut explosion, like I said, I was born in Beirut, and the Beirut explosion was the biggest one we'd ever seen on August 4th, and um, and how that connects is because of this. Hold on, give me a second here. See the because I told you the big explosion, the next big event is the Washington State event, right? On June 11th, right? Uh, I mean, the next attack. So this is Seattle right here, and they were calling this the chop zone right here during the pandemic. Okay, and and this looks like Elvis's head. So if they were to chop this, that would be also a head wound. Okay, see how Elvis's side profile looks just like this? So that's why I'm saying it. They were calling this place the chop zone in the Seattle area in Washington during the pandemic. So do you get it? So that they're going to have dual head wounds too, because Trump's going to get a head wound and Washington State gets a head wound. Do you understand? A bite is going to be taken out of the Apple State. Okay, Washington is the Apple State, and remember, Manhattan was the Big Apple. Okay, it's all connected. Okay, and also, if you add this year, because like I said, I'm not sure if it's going to be this year that Trump's head wound, but for sure it'll be next year if it doesn't happen this year, because June 11th next year is going to happen for sure. There's no stopping it this time. All right, that's what they were waiting for. The 6/11 to the August 4th, it had to connect, which I've been showing the last few videos under the live section of this channel. Anyway, August 4th, 2025, if you write it out, right, and then write out June 11, 2026, it equals 84 with a crown. Look at that, 840. If you just add up all the letters to what it is in the alphabet. Okay? So again, I ask you, are these just coincidences? You know? It's crazy coincidences, Now, you know that Trump, if you ask Google what number day of the year is June 14th, the day Trump's born, they'll tell you it's the 165th day of the year. And on a leap year, it's the 166th day on a leap year. Okay? And why is this important? Because look at this. The word resurrection, it's got 165 and a 66. 165 and a 66. Look, it's got 165 and 66. If you don't repeat the one, you know what I mean? It's 165 and a 6. So I'm just saying, it's weird that resurrection, because Trump is going to be resurrected. Do you understand what I'm saying? And what are those numbers you're seeing here? What you're seeing is the O, which is a crown. I mean, the 15, because you see a 1, 5, see? 1 and 5. That's the 15 for the crown. And then you see a 6, 6, 6. Okay? So that's why that Trump's birthday being the 165, 166 is really important. You have the 666 and then 1, 5 and one, actually 115, 115. That's the day MLK was born, 115. Because MLK, was assassinated. It's all connected. I told you, folks, it's all connected. But the point is that 165, 166 connects to the resurrection. And resurrection equals insurrection, exact same numbers. And that's why they did the insurrection, It's all connected. resurrection equals insurrection. Same numbers. And interestingly enough, that Trump is the 45-47 president, and 165-66 days, 165-66 days equals 45 years, 4 months, 7 days. But it could also, depending on what years you use and what months, it could be 45 years, 4 months, 8 days, 45 years, 4 months, 9 days, and also 45 years, 4 months, 10 days. Depends on what month, because the months have different dates, days in them and stuff. That's what messes it all up. But interesting that it's 45-47. So the first time you see 45, do you understand what I'm saying? Because 45 years, 4 months, 6 days would not be 165-66. It'll be 165-65. So the lowest. So what I'm trying to say is that 45 years, 4 months, 7 days is the lowest amount for 165-66 days. And then the highest one would be 45 years, 4 months, 10 days. Okay? Do you get it? So what I'm just saying, what's the chance that the resurrection numbers, 165-66, has a connection to the 45-47? Because Trump, do you get where I'm going with that? Because resurrection equals 165-66. You see what I'm saying? And it connects to Trump being the 45-47. And of course, I know the 45-47 connects to the 9/11. We know that. And Elvis, he died at the age of 42. Washington's the 42nd state. 4-2 is 6. 4-7 is 11. 6-11. And he's been dead 47 years now, right? But anyway, the 9/11 is 4 plus 5 is 9. 4 plus 7 is 11. 45-47 is 9/11, right? And here's some more incredible connections. Did you guys understand that? Did I do a good job of explaining that, or no? I need to know that you guys understood that. If you didn't, then no big deal, but I just want to see if you understood it. You understood it? Okay. All I'm saying is because Trump is the one going to be resurrected. That's the whole point. And of course, Trump is the image of Elvis, okay? That's why you saw Trump. Folks, I showed all these things years ago. Here, let me show you this. Trump gives Elvis the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I can't play the whole video because it's going to get copyright. Let me just play 1 minute of it. Listen. Trump right here.
Trump gives Elvis the Presidential Medal of...
Give me a second. That's them making those noises.
And here's another one who's just very incredible.
Listen.
Today goes to one of the most beloved artists and most enduring culture.
So this is Trump giving Elvis the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award.
That has ever lived. The king of rock and roll, the true king. You have to say that.
Did you see that? He said, the true king. You have to say that. Are you listening?
Elvis Aaron Presley.
You see that? And then they play a song, How Great Thou Art, where Elvis is saying, Oh Lord, my God. And what does Trump do? He fixes his tie as if Elvis is talking about him. See, I have to keep stopping it because I don't want the copyright, to catch it when I'm playing. Just hold on, I'm going to show that. Watch this. Watch him fix his tie. What the heck? What is that about, right? You understand what I'm saying, right? Anyway, so you're telling me that Trump was the first one to give him the Presidential Medal of Freedom? Uh, it could have been any of those people. It could have been Nixon, because Elvis visited Nixon, and what did he do? He went to the White House, Elvis, with a 45 gun. You see what I mean? And gun equals 42, by the way. And he goes to Nixon uh, unexpectedly. He goes to visit Nixon with a 45 gun, because Trump is the 45. Do you get it? That was the only president he actually visited at the White House. And you know, Elvis lives in Graceland. Graceland looks like the White House. And Presley sounds like president. I mean, first four letters, President Presley. And where Elvis lived, Graceland looks like the White House. It's all connected, man. And I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, the fact that no president gave Elvis the Presidential Medal of Freedom. You're telling me they waited for Trump? No, come on. No way. Okay, now, anyway, let's keep going. And by the way, folks, these are things I've already shown, but I have to show it again. So, you know, the election, when Trump won the election, by the way, he was 70 years old, 7 months, 7 days old when he became president the very first day that he became president, inaugurated. He was 70 years old, 7 months, 7 days. But look at this. The day he was elected, not because the voting started on 11/8, but he wasn't announced the winner until 11/9 the next morning. So 11/9 he was announced the winner. And then in 2024, the voting started on 11/5, but he wasn't announced the winner until 11/6. See that? 11/9, 11/6. There's your 9/11 and 6/11 again. Okay? Do you understand? Okay. Are you getting that? And I told you, when he became president, the very first day, he was 70 years old, 7 months, 7 days, 777. But look, from that day, he was 70 years old. From that day, he was 70 years old to the day he was elected when he was 78. 70 through 78. Okay. And why is that important? Because look, if you add up all the numbers between 70 through 78, you get 666. And if you don't believe me, this is all these things I've already shown. What is 70 plus 71 plus 72 plus 73 plus 74 plus 75 plus 76 plus 77 plus 78?
The answer is 666.
There you go. See? That's why. Okay. Now, interesting, because, you know, it says, notice that it's 778, the numbers. If you add up all the assassinated presidents, their prime numbers, you know, because Trump would be the 45 and 47 technically. You know what I mean? 45 and 47. Okay. But it really stops at the 45 because the 47 is going to be resurrected. Do you get it? Okay. So it would stop at the 45 really. And then it ends with the 47. But anyway, it's just funny that it's 778, the prime numbers for these things. And I told you, look, the first one was the 16th. The next one was the 20th. Elvis died in the 16th state. He was born in the 20th state. And right now you're in the 25th year. So that's why I still think that Trump's going to get his head wound, you know. And yeah, I just saw something here. Anyway, man, I just saw something that. But anyway, so like I said, that June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. August 4th is the 216th day of the year. It's right there, folks. And then you're in the 25th year. But but how you know that it's all about the 25, 26? Because see, the 25th president was assassinated, but the 26th president was 42. Get it? He was the youngest president, the 26th president. And what did I just tell you? That the 42nd state is going to be struck in the year 26, because the 26th president was 42 when he took over for the 25th. Get it? That makes perfect sense, right? Because next year is the 26th year, and it's the 42nd state. Elvis died at the age of 42. The 26th president was the youngest president after taking over for the one who got assassinated. Okay? Do you see how perfect it is or no? Okay? And you know, Abraham Lincoln, uh, he was born 216 years ago. And August 4th is the 216th day of the year. So that's interesting. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And he was the first president, remember, to get assassinated. And hold on, folks. I gotta put my hand down here. I forgot to write something down here. I can barely hold the pen and write. So if you see sloppy writing, it's because my hands, the arthritis is not letting me write properly. So do you guys understand it so far? Did you get that? I'm almost done, folks. Give me one more second. I told you August 4th is the 216th day of the year, right? So, you know, if you start from the first George, the first president, okay, and you skip over all the way to the 41st, I'll explain to you why I'm showing you that. So from the first George to the next George, okay? First George to the next George. And by the way, it's a father and son, okay? So you notice there's three G's there. And what are the three G's? You know, you ever there's a Three Gorges River, isn't it? It's not Three Georges, is it? Is it Three Georges or Gorges? Anyway, the three Georges, look at that, 777. But look, it's 41st and 43rd president is the father and son. 41 and 43 equals 84. And if you add the one, it's 85. So, because I told you it's all about the 84, 85, because 84 falls on 85 on a leap year. So that's connected too, you know. But anyway, so from first George, so from the first George to the second George, okay? Are you understanding? From the first George to the second George. You start adding it up, look where it stops at the 45th president, 216. And I told you that's the portal number. The bridge equals 45. The bridge is the portal, the O. So that's where the O comes in, 450, 45, and the O, the portal, 450 plus 216 is 666. Okay, now, so, because Trump has to get his head one, that's the whole point on August 4th. The O, the head, the portal, 450, 450 plus 216 is 666. And Elvis Aaron Presley equals 216. Anyway, so why is the 141 so important? You know, 141. Because look, you know, all the assassinated presidents, if you add that up, it becomes 141, stopping at the 45. Okay? See how it's 141? You see, what's the chance of that? That it's at the 141. I've shown much more to this puzzle, but also 141, June 11th equals 141. If you write it out, you know. It's the 162nd day of the year, but when you write out June 11th, it equals 141. So you see all these connections that I'm showing? These are impossible connections, okay? To be coincidence. All right. Anyway, so this last thing I'm gonna show you is no big deal. This is an old thing that I showed. This is why it's all messed up, the card. June 14th, 1946 is when Trump was born. It equals 404. And I told you MLK was killed on 404. You see? You know? He was killed on April 4th, June 14th, 1946. 404 is a big number. I've shown this in throughout my videos over the years. But anyway, it's connected to Trump, the 404, right? You see it? And even his wife is connected to this. Look at this. Melania Trump. Look at this. Melania Trump. 426 is the 116th or 117th day of the year on a leap year. So it connects to the 611, and now the creature is 55 years old. I told you Satan, because Satan equals 55. So Satan, you have the 611 connection. And look, she's born in the year, whatever the creature is. Born in 1970, the 45th prime is 197, and then you have the crown again. 197 with the crown, the 45th prime, you see? See what I'm talking about? Okay. And also from that creature's birthday to the date Trump, August 4th this year, look at this connection. Remember, the creature's 55 years old. Satan equals 55. But look, Satan's full number is 55. The reduced number is 10. 55, 10. Look at this. From that day to August 4th is 55 years, 3 months, 10 days. What is the 3? The crown. 55 years and 10 days. 3 months is the crown. Get it? So it's Satan with a crown. 55, 10, and a 3. Are you understanding that? And if you think that's a coincidence, let me show you how it's not a coincidence. All right, these are. If you think that the Satan numbers are just a coincidence, I'm almost done, folks. This is gonna be the last thing I show here. So from Trump's birthday to the day Obama was born, because it's all about Obama's birthday, August 4th, right? Look at this. First, I want you to see when you add the day what it is, and then when you don't add the day. Look. So including the day, oh man, I'm trying to get it to focus. So from Trump's birthday, June 14, 1946, to Obama's birthday, August 4th, 1961, it's 5531 day, 5531 day, but that's including the day. If you don't add the day, it's 5530. So 5531 or 5530. And why is that important? You ready for this? You ready? Stupid. So what did I just tell you about the Satan numbers? See? Remember, the 3 is a crown. So is the O, but you can use it also as a number. It's a 0 to a hero. Look, 5, 5, 1, and a 0. Because remember, it's 0 days. If you don't add the day, 1 day if you add it. So it was 5530, 5531. So there you go. So you have the 5510 and the 3. 5510 and the 3. Satan's numbers, same with a crown. You see what I'm saying? And that's from Trump's birthday to Obama's birth. The exact amount. And look at this. If you don't add the day, check this out. If you don't add the day, remember it was 5531 when you add the day. You know, but watch this. I'm going to take out the day. Watch. I just want you to see something. So you take out the day. So now the day's not included. See? Now we're not including the end date. Now watch this. So look at this. Look at that. 790 weeks. 79 with a crown. Trump is 79 right now. And look, it's 15 and 15. It's the double crown. 0, 0, 0, 0. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's the uh-oh. Anyway, that was the percentage. But anyway, it was 790 weeks. You know, that's interesting, right? All right, folks. What happened? I don't see any comments. Something happened to the chat again. Are we even here? Did we disappear? What happened to the people? I saw no comments the last 25 minutes. Oh, you people are something else, man. I need to. What are those relaxation techniques? Man, you guys will drive. You guys will drive the most calmest person into a nut farm. Anyway, God bless you, lukewarm people. You people drive me nuts. God bless you, people, man. Anyway, so any questions before I end this chat, before I lose it and end up taking this video down too, like I did yesterday? Anyway, make sure you thumb up the video, folks, and make sure you comment under the video when the video gets loaded. I mean, you know, under the comment section. All right. Anyway, folks, if you're new to the channel, go watch all the live streams on this channel. Go to the live section because that's where all my recent videos are. Okay. So if anybody new here has a question, ask it now. I'll give you. Well, you know, I can hang on here for another 10 minutes. Anyway. No, I'm not saying that Obama's going to take over, but Obama plays a big part in this monstrous charade, but he's not. No, I do not believe that Obama's going to take over. No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Trump gets his head one. 4 days later, he opens his eyes. And like I said, Obama plays a part, but it's going to take time for Trump to heal from his deadly wound. And so I don't know how long that's going to be. But in the meantime, somebody else is going to be, you know, doing whatever they're doing. And that person is the one who builds the image of the beast that people have to worship, you know. But it's going to, like I said, it's going to take some time. So we'll see, you know, we'll see. Because I believe that it would make more sense for Trump to leave, to not be in the limelight when the June 11th event happens. Because what if everything's going wrong and then they need Trump to come back and save everything? Do you understand what I'm saying? Same old crazy thing that happened with the, you know what, back in 2021, where Trump left and they made sure that Biden crashed the whole world, and then that way to come back and look like the savior. That's how he won the presidency again, supposedly. Of course, we know it's all rigged, but you know what I mean. We don't believe in the system, you know. I've never voted in my entire life, okay? And I never will. And I'm not taking the mark, and if they're gonna chop my head off, then chop it off. I'm done with this place. I want nothing to do with it, man. Get me out of this place and get me to heaven. Lord Jesus, please get me out of this place before all hell breaks loose, if possible. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm going to have a video out about, how important this one particular person is who could possibly be bringing in the mark of the beast. We've talked about it before, but anyway. All right. But like I said, I only know what I know. God only revealed to me the players involved with my two predictions and where these places are going to be. Other than that, I can only know so much. Okay, I'm just a human being. There's nothing special about me. I'm talking about other than what my destiny was to reveal this puzzle connecting to Elvis and Trump. All right, so God bless all of you. Any questions? Ask it quick, because like I said, I'll stay on another 10 minutes. While I'm not irritated. And by the way, folks, I have lots of patience, but what I don't have patience for is lukewarm, lazy, unappreciative people. And that's what most of my viewers are, unfortunately. But anyway, that's on them. Like I said, I know where my treasures are. It's in heaven. Yeah. Any last questions? Yeah, I'll be coming back on tonight for another live stream in like 3 hours. Yeah. And if you don't see me in 3 hours, then it'll be 4 hours. If you don't see me in 4 hours, then it's 5 hours. But sometime, most likely 3 hours. But if not, sometime tonight. I'll be back. Yeah, I know. I heard about Trump being there. See, I don't understand the World Cup and the Cup. What is the difference? Because next year, the World Cup is on June 11th, isn't it? Or something like that? Does it start on June 11th? I don't get it. I'm confused with this stuff. You know what I mean? Well, I thought the World Cup was only every couple of years. Every 4 years. I don't understand. How could it be next year, too? Somebody explain this World Cup, this 6-11 next year is the World Cup. I get it, but what was this year? What was this thing that Trump went to and was celebrating? What was that? That's what I'm asking. What was? Yeah. Oh, it was European. What does that mean? I don't understand. See, I don't pay attention to sports. I only just a big event like a Super Bowl or something. But with soccer, I don't pay any attention to it. But the Super Bowl is a big deal. I did a whole Super Bowl video already for next year, and I forgot to mention a couple things. But I'll rehash it when Super Bowl time comes up again. Yeah, I don't understand it. Don't even, like I said, with the soccer stuff, I don't get it. Anyway, come on, folks, any last questions? Forget the soccer stuff. I don't pay attention to that stuff. But yeah, I know that the 6-11 World Cup is next year. Oh, 6-11, the World Cup. Is it the beginning or the end game? I don't get it. So I'm not sure what that is either. I just know it connects to June 11th next year. All right, folks. Since nobody has a question, doesn't seem like it. Last minute, folks. Unless somebody asks a question. Oh, so June 11th is the start of the World Cup next year. Okay. Yeah. Where's next year's World Cup start? Oh, it begins in Mexico? Mexico. No, that's the Super Bowl trophy, but no, the World Cup trophy, I don't think so. What does the World Cup trophy look like? I've shown it before. Yeah, I've shown this when the World Cup was on June 11th a few years back, or 8 years ago. I can't remember, but it was. I mean, there is some connections. Yeah, absolutely. It connects, but really, it's about the Super Bowl. But that's connected also, because that looks like that thing too. That we're talking about. If you saw my Super Bowl videos, and even the last video that I put out, last live stream. All right, folks. Oh, to July 19th is the last date of the World Cup. July 19th is Trump's reverse date. It's its reverse birthday. All right, folks, just remember my two predictions is June 11th, the Washington State event, is June 11th next year, Washington State event. Trump's headwind is on August 4th, either this year or next year. All right? I've had the same predictions. I've never changed my predictions because I know it's from the Holy Spirit and I know it's going to happen. That's why you don't see me changing the predictions. All right? Not unlike these people, all these supposed prophets on YouTube. They're always changing the dates, changing their predictions, changing the places because it's not from the Holy Spirit what they're talking about. All right? That's why I don't change. All right? And that's why I don't profit from it. Okay? You understand? I don't monetize my videos. I never have, never will. I've been on YouTube over 12 years now. All right? I just want to let people know what's coming and give as much truth as I possibly can give, and be correct. But, sometimes I've been wrong, but not with this. For sure, this June 11th and August 4th events are going to happen. I just didn't know the year. God didn't reveal the year to me because he wanted me to calculate the number of the beast. Okay? That's why he didn't reveal the year to me, I mean, but there was signs, You'll see in one of my videos where I'm going to show you all the connections where I'm talking about connecting to me. I should have known, but whatever. It is what it is. Anyway, God bless all of you. Jesus is God. Anyone who came in late, you got to watch from the beginning. Watch this video, okay? All the way through. And make sure you watch all the live streams for the last month or so, okay? All my recent videos under the live section. All right. End of video. Jesus is God. Oh, make sure you thumb up the video. End of video. And make sure you comment under the video section. End of video.